the project for the week. And I want to go through it rather slowly. And we start by downloading the start file. I don't open it here because I don't have 2019, so I'm going to go to lab.devra.edu. Log on there using the same credentials I use as Canvas. And here you probably won't have this. These are my favorites. You'll click on Apps. And on the Apps page, you should see the Microsoft Office 2019. Click on that, and it'll take you specifically to those applications. You can hit Details, and yours won't say Remove. It'll say Add to Favorites, and then it'll put it on your Favorites page. Okay, the first time you launch it, it may ask you to download this Citrix receiver. It's perfectly safe. And then when you go to run it, and you need to launch the Citrix receiver. Pause here for just a second in case you're trying to get caught up. Okay, so I am working with files on my hard drive from this Citrix this server up here that's got a bunch of software on it that I'm allowed access to. So a lot of times the folders over here, you may not have anything because you haven't gone, don't know, but it's probably not what you're looking for. So I got to open other workbooks. And then here, especially if you hit this PC, it's going to the drive that I have on that Citrix receiver. So instead of doing that, I want to browse and come to my local disk C:, and from there you have to navigate to your downloads folder. I have to go to users, and then I log in as faculty, and then I can find downloads. Verify the date and time. Make sure it's the correct file. And open. All right. Now, before I get started, I like to save this again. And this time, instead of my downloads folder, I want it to go to my BIS155 folder. That way, when I get ready to submit it, I know exactly where it is. And then we're ready to get started. So I like to split my screens and put my Excel file over here. And my directions over here. Sometimes they cooperate, sometimes they don't. And I've now got number 1 done. I'm going to pause for a second in case you're trying to get caught up. Okay, so let's start with click on the mailing sheet tab and select and name cells A3 to D28 as responses. So A3 to D28, A3, D28, and I'm going to name this responses. And make sure you spell it right because I messed it up and had to start all over again. Well, I didn't know that's what I'd done wrong, but then I found out that's what I did wrong. Okay. Click the Mailing Stats Sheet tab. Make sure that's your active tab. Color goes away from it. See how it sticks out once you click on it. Click cell B21. And I felt like I was playing bingo for a minute. And type Carthage. Click cell C21 and start an index function. And when I don't know where a function is, I always go to Insert Function, type it in up here, hit Enter, and it usually pops up for me. That way I don't have to go searching for it. Then we'll select the first argument here in the list option. Choose or type the responses range. Well, we named it, and it's a whole lot easier to just type responses in the array box. Click the row number box and nest a match function. And this was the fun part. All right, so once we're on row number, come up here and choose match. And you'll notice it changes to the match function. And we want B21 for the lookup value. and then click in Lookup Array, and we're going to go to the Mailings sheet and select A28 to A3. I don't think it'll give it, yeah. Oops, no, I did that wrong. I want A3 to A28. On the lookup array. So make sure you change that, or you go back and reselect it, A3 to A28. Then our match type is 0, and we should have 6. All right, it said 6. Why didn't it come up? I'm going to go back to mailings and rename my group here, because somehow that didn't stick. That's what happened the first time. Now we got still didn't have I should have noticed that. It's not supposed to have quotes. And now I got a paid reference. Oh, we're not finished. That's why, and I'm just going to start over because this is that bad. All right, so I'm going to start back at C21 here. And insert my index. And again, I want responses. There we go. Now it worked. B21 is the lookup value. And then on, one second, let me get a bad value there. Okay, I'll keep going. And then go to mailings, A3 to A28. Oh, that's where I'm wrong. Sorry. I got confused a lot trying to get this done today, so if you'll stick with me, I promise I've done it and it works. I forgot to do my match. It's not just B21. Click on row number and go and pull in a match. That brings me over here. Now I want B21 as the lookup value. And you see we get Carthage. And then for the lookup array, I click on mailings and do A3 to A28. All right, so then I should see city, Ashland City, Belmead, and our match type is 0. All right, now at this point, do not hit enter or OK. Stay right here. Come up and click on index. It's going to take us back to the original index function. And now I'm going to click in column number. And I got ahead of myself, so let's do this. Click the column number box and nest a second match. So I click in column number and come up and get another match. You see it jumps into that match function. And on this one, I want to look up D3. Nope, sorry. I want to look up D3 on the mailing sheet. So I go to mailings and hit D3. And my lookup array is again back on mailings A3 to D3. Match type 0. And again, do not hit enter. Do not hit OK. Come up to index. Then on index, stay right there. The match type box, we did that. It said click OK. No. Come back to here. Make sure you come back to here. That's how I finally got it to work. There's our 343 that we're supposed to get. And now we can hit OK. All right, so we're back on there and we're going to format the results to 0 decimal places. And I'll do that from the Home tab. Now go to B21 and type in Smyrna. Notice it changes to 300. Okay, so now we'll select the mailing sheet. Note that the number mailed is in the 3rd column and the response data is in the 4th column. Click the Criteria Sheet tab. Select cell B2 and type in LAN. Yes, that's lowercase and it's short for Landscape Design Department, LAN. Come down to B5 and type LAW. Make sure these are all lowercase. I accidentally capitalized the P and got a slap on the wrist. Points wise, anyway. And then in B8, PAT asterisk. All right, then go to the Mailing Stats Sheet tab and select cell B7. Use Dsum with the range name responses as the database argument. Okay, so again, if I don't know where a function is, I'll come here and type Dsum. And the database argument is going to be responses. Shoot. I hate it when I do that. The field will be field 3. The mailed column. And then our criteria, they want an absolute cell reference to B1 and B2 as the criteria argument. Okay, so they want B1 colon and then I hit F4 and it only got one of them, so I'm going to come back to B1 and hit F4 again. And okay. Copy the formula to cell C7 and edit the field argument to use the 4th column number of responses. Okay, so I'm going to copy right and then click on that one, make sure it highlights only, and then I'm going to change the 3 here to 4. Notice that it's showing me that I'm in the field argument. If I click here on responses, it tells me I'm in the database. If I click here, that's the criteria. Okay. Use Dsum in cells B8 through C9 to calculate the results for the 2 remaining departments. All right, well, if I look back at my formula, what I need to change in the formula to go from landscape to lawn is changing this from B2 to B5. Okay? So I'm going to copy this down and then click on it to edit it. And I have to change B2 to B5 and B1 to B4. And that did not work. Why not? That should have worked and changed my number, but since it didn't, let me go back and do it the other way. I'll click in the box and insert a Dsum. Okay, and for database, I want responses. For my field, I want 3. And instead of B1 and B2, that's why, because I didn't do criteria B4, B5. So I've got to go back and fix the one up top. Forgot to go to the worksheet. I just put in B4 and B5. Now they want the absolute cell reference, so I hit F4. And okay. All right, so on this one, I need to edit this. So I'm going to copy criteria, exclamation point. And I'm going to, oops, come here and paste it in front of my B1 and B2. I'm also going to do that here on the other one. And now I can copy this one sideways and change that to 4. Okay, so now on to the next one. This time, Confidence will copy it. Click down here and just change this to 7 and 8, B7 and B8. And the reason the other copy didn't work was because I had left off the criteria here, so make sure you get that added in. And then I'll copy it left, click over here to edit that one, and change it to a 4. Use sum in cells B10 and C10, so C10, auto sum, enter, B10, auto sum, enter. Format all values as comma style with no decimal places. So I'll copy them all, or select them all. And we want comma style with no decimal places. Okay, now we have what's called an ifs function that will let us nest multiple ifs. And we'll make note of their formula here. But it's not it. Let me see if I expand. Does it show it all? No, because yeah, it's a duplicate. All right. Sorry, I was looking at their formula here, and that's not entirely correct from what I remember, but we'll look at it when we get there. Maybe I still did it wrong. Quick cell D7. The response ratings, the response rate and ratings are shown down here, 14 through 18. Start an ifs function and select cell C7 for the logical argument. All right, so I need an ifs. And C7 for the logical test1 argument divided by B7 is greater than or equal to 20%. Come down to value of true, and we want C15, and then we hit F4 to get our absolute cell reference. If you're having trouble with that, just type the $signs in. For logical test 2, we'll do C7 divided by B7 greater than or equal to 15%. And then the value if true 2 box, C16, and then F4 for the absolute cell reference. Complete the third and fourth logical test and value if true arguments. They only listed 3 in the one up there. That's why I was wondering. So I'm doing the next one, C7 divided by B7 greater than or equal to 11%. And if it's true, I want C17, F4 for the absolute value. Okay, then one more, and this is going to be less than or equal to 10%, so it gets that whole under range. So we do C7 divided by B7 less than or equal to 10%. And the 0 left. Then that one will be C18, and again F4 for the absolute value. And now you've done an ifs. Okay, and that one comes back with excellent. I'm going to copy and paste that down the page. I think I'm supposed to do the last one too. Yeah, there we go. And now we're on to number 7. Click the Employee Insurance tab. Select cell E25. Use Sumifs with an absolute reference to cells F4 to F23 in the sum range argument. So this is where I learned there's a difference in Sumif and Sumifs. We want the one with the S. And our sum range will be F4 to F23. And then I hit F4 for the absolute cell reference. Then for criteria 1, I'll do the same thing with E4 to E23. Hit F4 to get my absolute cell reference. Then in criteria 1, BRE asterisk for Brentwood. Then for criteria 2 range, it's an absolute cell reference to D4 to D23. And criteria is LAN asterisk. Click OK. And I got something wrong. All right, did I type that wrong? LAN. Oh, somehow I selected that wrong. This section should be E4 to E23. How did I select the same thing twice? All right, there we go. Now it's 10. complete the Sumifs formula for cells E26 through 28 using the 3 criteria arguments to select each city. All right, so I did a copy and paste. And then select this one, and I'm going to come change BRE to SPR for Springfield. And then I'm going to come change LAN to HUM for Human Resources. Okay, and yeah, it gave me a little funny mark. I can ignore that. All right, then here, I'm going to do the same as well for 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 Forest Hills and PAT for patio. And then on the last one, GAL and MAI from, no, sorry, LAW for lawn. I knew that. So GAL for Gallatin, and LAW for lawn and maintenance. Okay, format borders to remove any inconsistencies. So the only thing I saw was here on this one, the bottom border was not fixed. So I went to home and told it give it border all around. Other than that, I didn't see any formatting inconsistencies, and it says adjust column widths to display data. So I looked up through the table, and I don't really see anywhere where my data's out of place or squished off the screen, so I just left it. I don't think I got dinged for that. Okay, our last one, number 8, use text join to display names. So we'll click the full names sheet tab, which for me is over here off the side. It's the very last one. Select cell E4. Start a new text join function. And again, I didn't know where it was, so I came in the insert function and text join. Our delimiter is a space, so I'll hit the space bar and you won't see anything. In text 1, I want C4. And in text 2, I want the middle name, which is D4. And for text 3, I want the last name, which is B4. Copy the formula to display the names. save and close your workbook. The last place I saved it was in my 155 folder. So this is where I'll go to look for it now that I'm ready to submit it. I come back up to the top of the instructions page, upload my file, double check the date and time, make sure you're getting the right file, and submit. Hopefully I did better this time than I did last time. No, I still missed. Let's go see what it said I missed. I don't know what they're telling me there. I know I had a 10 there, so it's not telling me that was wrong. Employee insurance should have a value of 6. It has 7, so I'm not sure what I did wrong there. What I can do, let's see, E26 to E28, cell E27 on employee insurance has a value of 7. Oh. There was something on here I was supposed to change. G4 and G23 on that one. And it should be the same here on this one. G4 to G23. Sorry, I wasn't paying enough attention. And the difference is number of dependents or number of claims. Number of dependents, number of claims. All right, thank you, and have a great week 5. If you need anything, please give me a holler and let me know how I can assist you.